Well, you didn't offer him a little encouragement by any chance, did you, young lady?
No.
That's funny. I was sitting all the way over there, and I got a little encouraged. Must be the way you move around inside that dress.
All right, smart guy. I'll take you instead.
Oh, I don't want to be hoggish. Lon, you want a piece of it?
Well.
Westerns, Oscar winners. Ever since the Academy Awards began, the Western genre has been well represented. Best Picture, actors, etc. Today, we will take a look at Westerns that have claimed their proper recognition for their hard work, whether for the movie itself or the contributions from the individuals involved. One record still holds is Walter Brennan holding 3 Oscars for Best Supporting Actor, a record that still isn't broken. If you enjoy this video, take a peek at my channel for more. The link's in the description. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to share with your friends, especially the younger generation. The more, the merrier. This is just a selection, not all winners. Let me know what's missing that you liked. Dances with Wolves, 1990. Lieutenant John Dunbar, assigned to a remote Western Civil War outpost, finds himself engaging with a neighbouring Sioux settlement, causing him to question his own purpose. In addition to becoming the first Western film to win an Academy Award for Best Picture since 1931's Cimarron, Dances with Wolves won a number of additional awards, making it one of the most honoured films of 1990. Best Picture, Jim Wilson, Kevin Costner. Best Director, Kevin Costner. Director, Kevin Costner. Cast, Kevin Costner, Mary McDowell, Graham Greene, Rodney A. Grant. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969. Wyoming, early 1900s. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are the leaders of a band of outlaws. After a train robbery goes wrong, they find themselves on the run, with a posse hard on their heels. Their solution, escape to Bolivia. Oscar winners, Best Story and Screenplay, based on material not previously published or produced, William Goldman. Best Cinematography, Conrad Hall. Best Original Score for a Motion Picture, not a Musical, Burt Bacharach. Best Song, Original for the Picture, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, music by Burt Bacharach, lyrics by Al David. Director, George Roy Hill. Cast, Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Catherine Ross, Strother Martin. True Grit, 1969. A drunken, hard-nosed US Marshal and a Texas Ranger help a stubborn teenager track down her father's murderer in Indian Territory. Winner, Best Actor, John Wayne. Director, Henry Hathaway. Cast, John Wayne, Kim Darby, Glenn Campbell, Jeremy Slate, Robert Duvall. High Noon, 1952. A town marshal, despite the disagreements of his newlywed bride and the townspeople around him, must face a gang of deadly killers alone at high noon, when the gang leader, an outlaw he set up years ago, arrives on the noon train. Winners, Best Actor, Gary Cooper. Best Film Editing, Elmo Williams and Harry W. Gerstad. Best Scoring of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, Dmitri Tiomkin. Best Song, The Ballad of High Noon, music by Dmitri Tiomkin, lyrics by Ned Washington. Director, Fred Zinnemann. Cast, Gary Cooper, Grace Kelly, Katie Jurado, Thomas Mitchell, Lloyd Bridges. The Big Country, 1958. A New England sea captain in the 1880s arrives at his fiancee's sprawling Texas ranch, where he becomes embroiled in a feud between two families over a valuable patch of land. Winner, Best Supporting Actor, Earl Ives. Director, William Wilder. Cast, Gregory Peck, Gene Simmons, Carol Baker, Charlton Heston, Earl Ives. How the West Was Won, 1962. A family saga covering several decades of westward expansion in the 19th century, including the Gold Rush, the Civil War, and the building of the railroads. Winners: Best Writing, Story and Screenplay, written directly for the screen, James R. Webb. Best Film Editing, Harold F. Kress. Best Sound, Franklin Milton. Directors: John Ford, Henry Hathaway, George Marshall, Richard Thorpe. Cast: James Stewart, John Wayne, Gregory Peck, Henry Fonda. Richard Widmark. Stagecoach, 1939. A group of people travelling on a stagecoach find their journey complicated by the threat of Geronimo and learn something about each other in the process. Winners: Best Supporting Actor, Thomas Mitchell. Best Music, Scoring, Richard Hagman, W. Frank Harling, John Leopold, Leo Shucken. Director, John Ford. Cast: John Wayne, Claire Trevor, Andy Devine, John Carradine. Thomas Mitchell. Shane, 1953. A weary gunfighter in 1880s Wyoming begins to envisage a quieter life after befriending a homestead family with a young son who idolizes him, but a smouldering range war forces him to act. Winner: Best Cinematography, Colour, Loyal Griggs. Director, George Stevens. Cast: Alan Ladd, Jean Arthur, Van Heflin, Brandon DeWilde. Jack Palance. The Alamo, 1960. In 1836, a small band of soldiers sacrificed their lives in hopeless combat against a massive army in order to prevent a tyrant from smashing the new Republic of Texas. Winners: Best Sound, Gordon E. Sawyer and Fred Hines. 6 other nominations. HUD, 1963. Honest and hard-working Texas rancher Homer Bannon has a conflict with his unscrupulous, selfish, arrogant, and egotistical son, Hud, who sank into alcoholism after accidentally killing his brother in a car crash. Winners: Best Actress, Patricia Neal. Best Supporting Actor, Melvyn Douglas. Best Cinematography, Black and White, James Wong Howe. Director, Martin Ritt. Cast: Paul Newman, Melvyn Douglas, Patricia Neal, Brandon DeWilde. She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949. Captain Nathan Brittles, on the eve of retirement, takes out the last patrol to stop an impending massive Indian attack, encumbered by women who must be evacuated. Brittles finds his mission imperiled. Winner: Best Cinematography, Colour, Winton C. Hock. Director, John Ford. Cast: John Wayne, Joanne Drew, John Agar, Ben Johnson. The Westerner, 1940. Judge Roy Bean, a self-appointed hanging judge in Vinegaroon, Texas, befriends saddle tramp Cole Hardin, who opposes Bean's policy against homesteaders. Winner: Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Walter Brennan. Director, William Wyler. Cast: Gary Cooper, Walter Brennan, Doris Davenport, Fred Stone. A warm welcome to any new viewers. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get my new videos. Share with your friends. Drop me your comments. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.